Welcome to episode 6 of the sandwich series, where I am on a mission to find the best sandwiches from around the world and craft every single element from scratch, all in my very own kitchen, so you can learn the ways of the sandwich. And this week I did something a little bit different. I asked you guys for some advice. I really wanted to do an Indian style sandwich, and I've been seeing them all around the internet. They're super popular on YouTube, and I've just been seeing these crazy sandwiches, but I knew nothing about them. So I asked you on Life by Mike G, what is your favorite Indian style sandwich? And boy, did I get blown up big time with that question. Everyone came out to play. I was getting full on recipes from like their grandmothers, and it was crazy stuff. I had so much information to dissect, but we are doing the Bombay style sandwich that you see on the streets of Mumbai and I'm sure other parts of India, but it's a vegetarian sandwich and it's freaking wild. I had to try this thing for the first time. I've never been to India, but this was something I had to taste because I've seen these crazy videos of them grilling it up in these weird contraptions, and it just looked insane. You like throw all these ingredients in, you top it with crazy stuff. I needed to know more, so we are exploring everything Bombay sandwich today. And the typical Bombay sandwich is, you know, a white bread. You gotta have that white bread in there. Then you got some type of chutney, usually a coriander chutney or an herb chutney. Since this sandwich is vegetarian, you gotta have a nice base of vegetables to really make it work. And your first line of defense, like the bulk of this sandwich, is a boiled potato, or you can do like a spiced up masala potato, which you'll see later on in this video. Then you've got the fresh vegetables, of course. Then I've seen a ton of processed cheese, those cheese slices added to this. You don't have to do that. You'll see me adding something a little different to my sandwich. Then of course butter to grill this thing up. And then the final thing are the toppings. And I've seen some wild stuff in the videos and on recipes. I've seen ketchup and more chutney, just a lot of weird things. I'm gonna be doing an Indian style snack, which I've never tried before, called Sev. I'm really excited to make it. But first I have to head to my favorite market in New York City, Kalustein's, to get some traditional style Indian ingredients, because a lot of these ingredients are not strange, they're just unique. And this frickin' market has everything you can ever imagine. Kalustein's is located in the Murray Hill area of New York, and there's a ton of Indian stores around there, but Kalustein's is like the powerhouse. They have aisles and aisles of spices and some of the most far out stuff. But there were a few ingredients that I could only find in Kalustein's to really give me a taste of India in my own kitchen. That was epic right there. I think I spent about an hour in there just searching through all the spices, but I'm Indian inspired. I'm loaded up for months now, and I got some baklava, so I'm a happy camper. So for the bread for the Bombay sandwich, it's all about getting a nice sandwich style bread, a white bread. And I figured since we did the perfect white bread in the club sandwich video, I would just link that right here, because fortunately I saved some of that bread. I knew it'd be smart. I froze a few pieces. Really easy way to store bread. Just slice it up, freeze it like this, defrost it, and you have perfect bread. So while we're on the subject of bread, I actually had an announcement about bread. So a little while back, I created an entire course on making sourdough bread at home in your very own kitchen. And it's getting a little cooler outside. It's becoming bread season again, and I'm so excited. And I'm gonna be relaunching my sourdough bread baking course, but I wanted to make the course as useful for you as possible. So I have a little questionnaire below. You can get the link in the description. Takes about 3 minutes to fill that out. And I would really appreciate it if you could just fill out a few of those questions, because it's really gonna help me create the best possible course for you. Now back to the video. So for my Bombay sandwich, I'm going to be doing a coriander and mint chutney, which is so crucial. It's like that sauce, but it's a unique take on a sauce. We're used to like mayo or ketchup. I like the freshness here. And I'm just gonna start out with a bunch of herbs. I've got my cilantro, mint, and I'm gonna add it to a blender. And in India, I always see these amazing like spice and chutney blenders. I wish I could get my hands on them, but they just don't sell them around here. So any type of blender like this will work. And then I add my aromatics. I'm adding some ginger, some garlic, and then I have some of these Indian style green chilies. I add a little bit of lime juice to preserve that freshness, and a little bit of salt, and just some water so it's not so insanely concentrated. Now, because there's going to be a ton of liquid from the herbs and also from the water we added, a great trick I found for these chutneys is actually to add some of that sandwich bread right in there, and you get a nice smooth consistency. Let's move on to the boiled potatoes. So a lot of times with this sandwich, you'll see them just boil potatoes and just slice them up and put them right in there. And that's a good base. I wanted to take it a step further. This is kind of like the ultimate Bombay sandwich, taking every element and just making it incredible. So we're gonna do a spiced one, a masala style. And it's really simple. I just take a bunch of potatoes and I boil those off. Now, once those are boiled, I actually added some beets, so you'll see those come into play later, and you're just gonna slow cook those beets until they're tender. Now, the potatoes have been cooling, and I'm just gonna peel off the skin and then just sort of smash them a little bit. Now, I take out a pot and I add a little bit of oil to the pot. Then I start off with some mustard seeds, and that's gonna pop like crazy. I would actually turn the temp down. I had it a little bit high right here, and it's just easier to work with a lower temp when you're dealing with whole spices, because if things get out of control, they can burn very quickly. So I suggest just a little bit lower than this. Then I added my cumin seeds and then some curry leaves that I got at Clustian's. And the flavor of curry leaves, they're just incredible. If you've never tasted a curry leaf, it's so unique and it makes these potatoes amazing. Then I added my boiled potatoes in there, a little bit of turmeric for some color and a little bit of flavor, and then some salt, and just kind of mashed that up, stirred that together, sauteed it a little bit, and you have just a beautiful spiced potatoes. Now, I would say the main reason I went to Clustian's was for this Chaat Masala. And a Chaat Masala is an Indian style spice mix that's used for snacks and street foods. It's like a really powerful, tangy spice mix that you can just sprinkle on vegetables, you can sprinkle on snacks, and it just ups the flavor. And I've never made it before, so I wanted to get the actual ingredients, the traditional ingredients, but it's really simple to make. So to make my masala mixes, I actually use a coffee grinder like this. It will work perfectly. I added some coriander seed, I added some cumin seed, then I added some ajwain seeds, I believe they're called. It's caraway seeds in English. And now here's where things get a little unique. I added some amchur powder, which is green mango powder, for a little bit of tartness. Then for some more tartness, I added some tamarind powder, and then a little bit of this black salt. And that adds a very unique flavor specific to the Chaat Masala. Just grind that up into a little powder, package it up, and boom, you got it. So not only am I making chaat masala for the first time, but I'm trying out Sev, the Indian snack food that is freaking incredible. I tried it in Clustian's. I bought a bag to sample it, and I pretty much finished the whole bag before I got home. I was munching out on the subway. It's so good. Like, it could beat potato chips. This stuff is incredible. So let's get into this one. So this is the stuff you need right here. This is gram flour or chana dal flour or chickpea flour, and that makes up your Sev crispy noodles. Then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna mix it up until you get like a Play-Doh consistency. You don't want like a firm dough because this is an extrusion process. And when I was looking online to learn how to make this, first of all, everything was in Indian. That's how you know this is some traditional stuff there. I don't think there was a single English recipe. And they have these contraptions just to make sev where you put the dough in there and you crank it and it comes out. So I was a little bit screwed on that, but I did have a solution. I found my potato masher and I just needed to rig something up. So I took the top of a mason jar, that little thin top, and I drilled a few holes in there. Now the thing with sev is you can get different thicknesses of sev. In the store I got a really thin sev, but you can do thicker noodles. So this was more of a thick noodle. Then I had to cut around the edges so it fit in the potato maker. I removed the piece that was already in my potato maker, replaced it with my adapted version, and there you go. You've got your sev extruder right there. I got a pan with some oil in it, heated up to about 350 degrees, and just push that out nice and slow. And you can go in a circular motion. It helps so they don't all stick and bunch together. And kind of like tortilla chips, they're gonna stop frying at a point. It's like they've sucked up all of that oil. They're ready to go. You can flip it over and just let that fry on the other side. This stuff is so good, I can't stop just breaking it off and eating it. It really is one of the best snacks ever. I got some sev from Palustians just to try it, and I was just snacking on it all day. So I want to do a little taste comparison, but the thing we have to do first is break this up, because traditionally the snack is served all broken up and ground up like you see right here. Oh, it's so hard to do, these beautiful little spider webs. So this actually says thin sev on the package, and you can see right here, this is a lot thicker. I think I would have liked it a little thinner for the sandwich just because it will stick a lot better, but I just want to do an actual taste comparison. Here's the store-bought first. Both really good. This one definitely tastes more oily, a little more artificial. This one a little drier, less oily, and just really fresh. I like the spice better on this one. It's coming through a little more. Actually, I don't think there's much spice in that at all. And I added a little bit of that masala powder. So I'm gonna go with the homemade, always. Now here's one contraption I couldn't make at home. At least I don't have the skills to make this thing, but they do sell one on Amazon. So you can head over there if you want to make it at home. And I'll tell you, this was a good buy. I feel like I'll use this not just for the Bombay sandwich, but for other sandwiches. This thing is incredible for grilling sandwiches. So the key to this sandwich is you want to make sure that that bread fits in the sandwich maker. So I just had to do a little trim job, and then you just start layering everything up and you compact it in there. Once all your ingredients are in there, you just want to hit it with some soft butter on both sides, really coat that nicely, and then you're ready to grill. Close that thing. You can actually push it closed. And don't worry if the ingredients kind of push out the side. I was actually studying these videos for a while, and these street masters, these sandwich street masters, the way they do it is they put it over the flame, and they've got a little higher flame, but this will work fine. And you just grill that up and keep turning it. And if it starts pushing out the side and burning, you just chop those burnt pieces right off and you're good to go. You're gonna get this incredible contained, perfectly grilled, crispy sandwich in there. final step is topping it off. Traditionally, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do it, with cheese, with ketchup. I'm just gonna do a little bit of mint chutney, which I've seen a little extra flavor, and then some of those crispy sevs. I think the thinner sev would have worked better to actually top the sandwich, but it still added some nice crunch.
It's official. I have never been even close to this excited to try any type of sandwich. The work has been done. I've never been to India. I've never tried this. I have no way of judging it on any other sandwich similar to this. This is very unique, but let's go for it. Woo! Wowzers. Okay, so first of all, that is incredible. Different than anything I've ever tasted before. And I think that's what I like about it. It wasn't like saucy. It felt very clean, very refreshing almost. The veggies are like warm through, which is really cool, but it's just a different textural experience, and oh my goodness, that is incredible. What I love about this series is that most of these sandwiches, you can tell, are created by some late night munchy adventure or some type of leftovers, and then at some point they get adopted into the popular culture, into the popular cuisine, but no chef would ever be making something like this. And it seemed like from, you know, a lot of the comments on my Instagram about this sandwich is that this was a sort of leftover experience. You know, you've got a bunch of veggies, you got, you know, some of the sev, whatever it is, some of the chutney, you put it all together and you fry it up in a thing, and voila, there you go, you have a perfect snack food. So keep on cooking, keep on making sandwiches. Follow me at Life by Mike G to stay in tune with what type of sandwiches I'm making. Remember, I'm throwing out teasers all the time so you guys can stay up to date, and I'll see you next time.